So before I answer this question with sincerity, we have to have a little laugh about the first part of this. Because all these logs and all the logs you see me cut are already waste. They are a byproduct of the tree care and the land clearing industry. All of this is someone else's trash. Actual question as far as waste from pith cracking, that is of course going to be limited to just the slabs that contain the pith. So if the pith gets landed directly in one slab completely, then just that one slab's affected. But if the pith tends to deviate from end to end, either because of how it was sawn or because of how the tree grew, it doesn't always end up at the same height all the way down the whole log. You might have that pith in more than one slab. And the pith is the very center of the tree. That is where all of the growth rings are trying to shrink around. And at a certain point, that material in the middle becomes incompressible, and you end up with fracture lines as the wood splits to relieve that stress. If you're an epoxy table builder, you just fill in that crack and call it a feature. But if you're a furniture maker like me and you want some quarter saw material for a project, that's the exact slab that I'm going for. This isn't the best example because this tree had a structural defect in it before it was cut, but it illustrates pretty well what a pith split would look like. And here's the thing with this, you can rip this cracked section out the middle, edge off the sides, and then you got this big chunk of quarter saw material on either side. And if you want a big thick piece of quarter saw material, now you got it. But if you want to do a case side, you can resaw the thing in half and book match it. Now you got a book match quarter sawn case side. But if you're like, you know what, I don't want a case side, I want drawer stock. Great, you can resaw that into 1/2-inch pieces. Now you got 1/2-inch drawer stock. Or maybe you're like, you know what, I want to do a custom veneered sequential quarter sawn grain panel thing. Well, you can slice that big block into veneer, and now you have a nice quarter sawn stock that you can use on your shop sawn veneered panel. And if you know you're not going to use that slab as its full width and you want to prevent anyone from ever pouring epoxy into it out of spite, you can rip that 3 or 4 inch strip out of that center slab as it's coming off the saw and achieve the same thing. And that delayed decision making is why I love sawing slabs. It gives you so much more freedom in your part selection, in your grain compositions that you don't get if you're buying off the shelf standard dimension material. You have incredible freedom to manipulate this wood to do exactly what you have in your mind for the project that you're building. You just have to start thinking in 3 dimensions for your part layout instead of just a standard 2.